of Green Isle right now. And obviously this looks more like, I think in sort of a more city, I don't know if this is the staging area, Lori, or do you know exactly where the crew is? Okay. Okay, this is the staging area in Green Isle. So this is going to be a distance from, I think Rob Olson told us the other day, it's about maybe 5 minutes or so drive from the farm where the Bolter farm. And again, we don't know that the Bolters were living there, that Vance Bolter was living there. There was the place in Minneapolis where he'd been renting that space with some roommates for quite some time. So we didn't really ever know who was at the farm at what time, but now this seems to be all coming back to that area.
But we do know that that area and that farm was very heavily searched, very heavily guarded for much of yesterday, for sure. And certainly there was a presence there throughout the day today.
Yes.
How Vance Bolter would have made his way back there, still unknown tonight. But it appears that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and I can tell you, just as we're kind of moving around here with the camera, and Lori, you'll kind of have to let us know what we're seeing here. Maybe, guys, if we can put it in the kiosk and pull it up a little bit more. The screen's a little bit small, but I can tell you that yesterday morning when we were on the air, it was probably around 9:30 or so, where we had a chopper up over the Bolter farm, and you could see the sort of almost like SWAT vehicles kind of moving in, a couple of them. And nobody, while we were up in the chopper, ever got out, but they definitely sort of surrounded the place, and then they stayed put. And then our chopper was asked to leave the area by the Department of Public Safety. At that point, we don't know what happened because we lost our aerial shot, but that was sort of the last we saw of what was going on. And then we had heard throughout the afternoon that they did an extensive search. I don't know that that area was ever officially cleared.
It was an update, too, as well, from law enforcement this afternoon in terms of their search. And there were some points in there where we were wondering, they have something, they have a plan. There's something going on here that they weren't saying. And it was still all focused in that Sibley County area still, which led us to believe that that's where they believed he was.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to go to Green Isle? Is there anything that we're seeing there activity-wise? Okay, Paul.
Paul, you...
Okay.
You're in Blaine today. Yep. Give us the latest from what sort of led up to where we are tonight.
All right, let's set the scene for me. I am at the Emergency Operations Center, having some return audio in my ear. So we are at the State Emergency Operations Center in the North Metro. I will say we are not getting 100% confirmation from authorities here. Of course, this is the nerve center of this investigation. There was a news conference here, around 5:30, so 4 hours ago. What happened, I'd say 15 minutes ago, I got a text from a police officer, not directly involved in this case, but connected through just law enforcement, and he texted arrested alive from people at the scene that they were using drones that would find Vance Belter crawling in the dirt in a field, and he ultimately surrendered peacefully. So in custody, alive, in Sibley County. As you mentioned, a lot of attention of law enforcement there today with the abandoned Buick. Pieces of evidence found nearby that indicated that, yes, Belter had been there. The cowboy hat from those suspect photos that were distributed by the FBI, by the BCA. Of course, there was a $50,000 reward offered for the capture of Vance Belter, and he apparently has been found within, I don't know the exact distances, but found alive in close proximity to family property, his farm, if you will, down there in Sibley County near Green Isle. We are awaiting word if we will see state authorities today. Remember, it was BCA Superintendent Drew Evans who was here earlier, as well as DPS Commissioner Bob Jacobson. So again, facts continuing to unfold. We have it confirmed with our multiple sources that Vance Belter is alive. He is in custody. And of course, we know that there are multiple warrants for his arrest, facing charges of murder and attempted murder, of course, in Hennepin County, and then a federal count, a federal warrant, a nationwide warrant for his arrest, and charges that are ready to be filed in federal court against him for basically eluding capture, eluding arrest. So we'll have to see how this criminal case plays out, this unprecedented incident in Minnesota. Really, certainly recent history, if not the state's history, the political assassination of a top lawmaker, her husband, and then, of course, the attempted murder on a DFL senator and his wife in Champlin. And, as you start piecing this all together, I can't help but think, I was in Melissa Hortman's neighborhood yesterday in the aftermath of the deadly shooting, the unthinkable act that happened there, and the fact that his Vance Belter's, what was believed to be his security car, that fake police car, the fact that police had arrived on the doorstep at the Hortman home when they did, there was an exchange of gunfire, and that set him off on foot, leaving behind the vehicle. Was there a more elaborate plan for him from there with this manifesto with dozens of names on it? We don't know what was going through his mind, but clearly he was on foot because of that encounter at the door of the Hortmans, and now it has all led back to basically his property, as we understand it, an hour or so away. I was talking to our reporter down there, So Young. She had described there was about a 10-mile difference, I think, between where the car was abandoned and then where they were staging for this final operation. So again, awaiting official, I suppose, confirmation here at state headquarters. Remains to be seen if we still see authorities tonight. I would think they would want to get out in front of this. So we will continue to monitor the situation from here. Let me take care of my audio, and I'm happy to answer some questions for you guys.
Yeah. Paul, just one more thing here, if you can hear me. Go through again is really important details that you gave us right off the top on on that information that you received from a source just moments ago. He said some 15 minutes ago. Give us the details of that one more time, please.
Yeah, so again, kind of combining a couple of pieces of information from sources. There's something about a trail camera and perhaps in being located, if you will, or at least in a proximity area, that there was movement detected. But then from police, not someone directly on scene, but the law enforcement community is tight-knit. Clearly this case, while it ended in Sibley County, it's certainly in some way, shape, or form is Hennepin County based, right, with Brooklyn Park and Champlin. This officer was told that drones would find him crawling in the dirt in a field, and he would subsequently surrender peacefully. So drones, trail cams, and a peaceful surrender is the best I can tell you right now. Again, I am in the nerve center where you would think we'd hear from state authorities just as soon as possible, but right now we're going to have to go with sources on the ground, and Fox 9 is comfortable reporting that at this point.
Paul, I don't know if you can hear me. So nobody is there in that center right now, or who is there? I mean, is there any indication that there's going to be any sort of an update from officials?
We just don't know at this point. I will just tell you the setup. It's a new setup here. They have a new sort of emergency operations center that's recently opened. They have us, and I would describe it as a bullpen. We are required to stay in here, so I don't necessarily have direct access to some of the key figures in this investigation, so we will wait. I have had some face-to-face contact. They have said they just did not want to, in the last 5 minutes or so, confirm this information at this point. They may be wanting to gather, dot their I's, cross their T's, make sure they have everything in order from the field before they say anything. So we're at their mercy in that sense. But clearly there are other ways to get information in this day and age. And we do feel like we are in position with our sourcing on the ground there to officially tell you Vance Belter, this wanted political assassin, wanted on attempted murder charges, he is in custody and alive tonight.
And just stand by, Paul, because obviously this will develop throughout the next minutes and hours. But we want to remind our viewers, left side of your screen is the live images of Green Isle. Right now it's frozen at this second, but this is the image that is happening right now in Green Isle. Again, that is the location where it's believed, and we have